Do you have a cat that is over-grooming? Cassian. Psst, kitty. There are a number of reasons why your cat could be excessively grooming or over-grooming himself. I'm going to show you the top ones and then more importantly, what you can do at home to help your cat now. Are you looking to learn more about natural pet health and wellness? You've come to the right place. Click the link to subscribe to Veterinary Secrets. I'm inviting you to our brand new free upcoming webinar, Top Natural Anti-Inflammatories, Painkillers, how you can help your dog or cat with arthritis. Natural anti-inflammatories and painkillers to help heal your dog's arthritis naturally at home. We're going to go into some of the more common causes of pain and inflammation in our dogs, and in particular though, focusing on the whole array of different holistic remedies that are proven to help. Conventional veterinary medications for pain and inflammation, what works, what doesn't, things you need to avoid, what you need to watch for. Acupressure, touch therapies that work, rapidly decreasing pain. Signs of a dog with arthritis, new and emerging treatments that can really help your dogs. The webinar is free. It's happening Tuesday, December 2nd at 5 p.m. Pacific. Click the link in the box below to sign up. Why is your cat over-grooming? Cassian, he's a bit of an over-groomer. I'll show you what I'm doing to help him and likely what you can do to help your own cat. First and foremost, grooming, it is 100% normal behavior. And in fact, it offers a great deal of health benefits for our cats. One of the big reasons why we generally see far lower skin conditions in our cats as opposed to dogs. They're such big groomers, right? They don't like stuff being on their skin. They're going to remove it. And in fact, it's estimated that cats, they spend almost half of their awake time, I don't know how long you're awake, Cassian, grooming. 50%. So it's a huge part of their normal behavior. But a cat that's excessively grooming seems like it's pretty much all the time they're awake. That's all you ever see they do. And more often than not, when you start to be concerned is because you're seeing patches of hair loss. Your cat is grooming to the point that you're starting to see skin, perhaps here in his tail base, that you wouldn't normally see. Sometimes in the groin. So in here, these cats excessively grooming, you're going to see little red lesions, for instance. All this fur that's covering Cassian's groin, some of these cats, it's completely gone. Kitty. So why would your cat, my cat, overgroom? First and foremost, I say start looking at the skin. Look to see if there are any external parasites. Most common would be fleas, so get yourself a handy dandy little plastic $1 flea comb and thoroughly check your cat's fur. Many of the times they can just have 1 or 2 fleas, but if you thoroughly comb your cat's fur, you're going to find flea dirt, also known as flea poop. So let's see what you have, Cassian, because you have been grooming a lot. Cassian's fur, it's all pretty clean. There's no real dandruff. He's living inside with a dog that is also parasite free, so I'd expect it to look like this. If you had a pet that had fleas and you just sort of dab the flea comb on top of this white piece of paper, see all those black specks? That's what flea poop, flea dirt looks like. Pretty highly suspicious of fleas. But this is coffee grounds. Fleas are by far and away the most common parasite that's going to cause your cat to itch and excessively groom. And this is what you saw. Here are a few things I suggest to try and treat them. The safest topical is this, diatomaceous earth. It comes from the microscopic exoskeletons of little critters. Sea creatures used to live millions of years ago. Now it's just part of the earth, and it looks very much the same thing as flour. So this is what it looks like, and this is food grade diatomaceous earth, meaning it's also safe to consume, so it also can be used orally as a natural dewormer. What I've done is put the diatomaceous earth in an old spice container. It's a great way to apply it, is you just loosely sprinkle it over top of your cat's fur, like yay, Cassian. Then you get your flea comb, and you just evenly spread this through his fur. The one big thing is it will dry his fur out. So the maximum you want to do this is twice a week. But then also you want to take this diatomaceous earth and you want to sprinkle it in the cracks and crevices in your house as well. Because if you happen to have fleas on your cat, they're also in your house, you've got to interrupt that flea life cycle. and that will dry up and that will kill those fleas. But you need to be doing this twice a week for 4 weeks. Second, this could be allergies. Allergies in our cats, it's far less common than dogs, but our cats, we're seeing an increasing number of allergies, and one of the signs can be this over-grooming. Oh, chewing on part of his foot or grooming his leg. That could be a sign of a cat that has an allergy. Typically though, it's not just the grooming, it's going to be the itching, right? You might expect to see your cat scratch at his ear, side of his face. It's not uncommon for our cats to have lesions under their chin. No, actually his chin looks pretty good, but he definitely has allergies. I've managed it with diet, but he's actually lost all the hair underneath his chin. Typically we would call this feline acne, but for Cassian, it was secondary to a food allergy. So if you're seeing this excessive grooming in combination with this underlying scratching, then big alarm bells should go off. You should be thinking, it's an allergy, I gotta do something about it. First, look at the food. Probably the biggest allergen in our cats are the protein. The most common one to be allergic to is fish, believe it or not. The second most common allergen is dairy or milk. So if you happen to be feeding your cat fish, any type of dairy, eliminate those first. Then consider a few different supplements which can really help our allergic cats. There you go, Cassian. This is freeze-dried chicken, of which he's not allergic to. Get your cat on an essential fatty acid supplement. This is Dr. Jones's Ultimate Omega-3 formula for dogs and cats. The anti-inflammatory portions of the omega-3 fatty acids, EPA, DHA, these especially target the skin, and they especially target the inflammatory process that triggers that itch-scratch cycle. For instance, it could be an environmental allergen. It penetrates in through the layer of your cat's skin, and that triggers this whole cascade of events causing them to itch. This interrupts part of that cascade naturally. And actually, Cassian is on this krill oil. He's on 2 500 milligram capsules, 1,000 milligrams once a day. It's been working really, really well. So first and foremost, good quality essential fatty acid supplement at high enough doses, minimum 500 milligrams. To start, even consider 1,000 milligrams per cat daily, at least for the first 2 weeks. And the second big thing of all the different potential options for allergies is some type of natural antihistamine, which can really dramatically decrease the itching. And this one here is working so well for Cassian. This is our quercetin supplement, Dr. Jones's Ultimate Bioactive Quercetin for dogs and cats. It's the natural flavonoid found in apple peel, for instance. It's been well studied for an array of different things, but top of the list is for allergies. And what we're seeing is it's this potent antioxidant, this potent anti-inflammatory, also a potent natural antihistamine. So it's working in multiple different ways to counteract the underlying cause of the allergies. Part of the way allergy happens is it triggers a certain cell in the skin called mast cells to release histamine. This is a natural antihistamine counteracting that. When that all happens, there's far less itching. Cassian has responded so well to the quercetin. I can't say enough good things about it. The dose is 50 milligrams per 15 pounds of body weight daily. He's on 150 milligram capsule a day. That, in combination with the essential fatty acid, the krill, is stopping him from itching. So the essential fatty acid, the krill, that could solve your cat's over-grooming problem if you have a cat that has an underlying allergy. Third, but probably the most common reasons for cats that do over-groom is stress, anxiety, behavioral alterations, altered emotions that's manifested in over-grooming. Our cats, even little Cassian here, he was designed to hunt, explore, to be constantly stimulated, right? To have this really enriched environment because he was outside, he had to hunt for his food, etc. Now he's spending his time in the house, he's hanging out. That can create a host of behavioral problems, and that can be shown as excessive grooming. So you need to enrich your cat's environment as best you can. Things like scratching posts. Cassian also has an outdoor cat house. He's got like places to climb, and he has people like me who work at home who can hang around and entertain him. So because of that, Cassian's got a fairly enriched environment. I've been using one of the lick mats quite a lot, and what I'm finding is I'm just spreading Cassian's, he's already had food this morning, so I'm not going to do it again, but I just spread his food on a mat, something like this. Sometimes if I'm gone out for a long period of time, I would leave a little bit on there, freeze it, pull it out. It's just another way to enrich your cat's environment, because food is pretty important to Cassian especially. So if I can make it a little bit more enriching, I'm going to do it. And I really think these licky mats offer a great solution for that. There are also some natural anti-anxiety supplements to consider. First, there's an amino acid found in green tea. It's called L-theanine. It's been studied, been shown to be very safe long-term for our cats. Probably one of the better supplements that you can give long-term to help naturally lowers your cat's anxiety, potentially stop him from over-grooming. It's been isolated from green tea, it's also found in black tea, and it has direct tranquilizing effects of the brain, so it's lowering some of the brainwave activity. And when that happens, like all of a sudden our cats, they're not sort of fight or flight. It's more stimulating the vagus nerve, more parasympathetic. It's more like rest and relax. So we're looking at L-theanine doses somewhere between 50 to 100 milligrams per cat a day. But you really need to give it for at least 4 weeks before you can assess whether it's helping or not. Number 2, for short-term use, you can consider something like valerian root extract. Like all of a sudden, if there's a big flare-up, like who knows, someone new has moved into the house next door and your cat's really upset and he really starts to groom himself and you're like, oh, I just need to calm him down right now. Valerian can work really well for that. So it's the valerian root extract. It's better if you can get the non-alcohol based tincture. No cat's gonna like alcohol. We're looking at standard tincture doses, about a quarter of the dropper full of tincture, quarter of a dropper full per 10 pounds of body weight, 2 to 3 times a day. Consider one of the cannabinoids, such as this, Dr. Jones's Ultimate CBD for dogs and cats. Many cats respond well to CBD. The big thing is you need to hide it into something. Most cats aren't super crazy about the carrier oils. Ours is hemp oil. Our dog loves it. Cassian, not so much. But I can mix it into his food and it's all good. Virtually no side effects. Can do a good job of decreasing some of your cat's anxiety levels. Pretty typical cat dose, 3 milligrams per 10 pounds body weight. You can easily give that twice daily. Number 4 to consider this, the sleep hormone, melatonin. Melatonin, typically you would think of it for sleep, and that's when it peaks in the body. But it also plays a big role in hair growing and regrowth. So some of our cats, over-grooming, there may be some weird alteration in the hair growth cycle. This can actually stimulate hair growth. The other big benefit I'm finding from melatonin, it is used for our animals that have anxiety, and many respond well to it. It's been used in literally hundreds of thousands of animals. Very, very safe. Also a potent antioxidant. So it's got some clear health benefits as well as being anti-anxiety. Pretty typical cat dose, 1 to 2 milligrams per cat. You want to give that about an hour before bedtime. Then last but not least, just don't think about things that are really inexpensive and easy and potentially can alter your cat's mood, make him feel a little bit happier. So this here, we're talking about catnip. So there are specific ingredients in catnip. In some cases, they can stimulate your cat, but in particular, they'll cause the release of happy hormones or pheromones. Try incorporating catnip a couple of times a day. It's another good way to just, naturally help your cat who's going to have anxiety, especially being an indoor cat, without any side effects. A couple other things to consider. Number 4, it's one I don't think many people would think about, would be if your cat has something underlying, and probably the one I saw often in veterinary practice was their cats that had a urinary tract disease, a urinary tract inflammation. They would often be excessively grooming themselves. Most of the time though, that grooming, it happens over here, over top of their bladder. Sometimes, it can be at the base of their tail base, especially these male cats, grooming their penis in particular, but especially here. They're grooming the lower part of their belly because their bladder is sore, and it's just like they feel it. Almost that's their way of communicating. It's, the closest they can get to the bladder. If that happens to be the case, and there's a real clear link between stress and anxiety and cats that have urinary tract disease, so number 1, you need to manage your cat's stress and anxiety. But 2, you need to decrease the inflammation that's within the bladder wall. It's going to be all thickened, lined, right? It's actually bleeding. There's going to be blood within the bladder itself. So something can do a good job of decreasing anxiety, decreasing inflammation in the bladder. More than anything else is this. the CBD cannabidiol. And I've seen many cats and many cat parents say like that was the biggest difference for helping their cat with urinary tract disease. You're dosing your cat at 3 milligrams per 10 pounds of body weight, definitely twice daily. And that equates to 1 drop of our tincture, twice daily. Long term, I've seen many cats respond to glucosamine chondroitin. Typically, we think of these as nutrients beneficial for animals that have arthritis, but also they seem to help repair and rebuild up the lining of the bladder wall. So just a good quality cat supplement that has those specific ingredients in them is a really good idea. That's found in our supplement, Dr. Jones's Ultimate Feline Health Formula. Also, ensure your cat is on canned food. As casein is, the biggest thing with canned food, it's so much better for a cat than anything dry. It's got all this additional moisture, and that's what your cat needs. That additional moisture goes into the bladder, flushes whatever else is there. And when the bladder actually fills and dilates with fluid, that's how it actually relieves pain. So by just adding in canned food, increasing your cat's moisture content, way healthier for a cat, but especially for urinary tract health. Right, kitty cat? But obviously, if you have a cat who is straining to urinate, he can't urinate properly, you see this associated over-grooming, don't start with these remedies. Immediately go in, see your veterinarian, just ensure that your cat is not obstructed, because that requires emergency veterinary care. The last more common reason potentially to be a source of a cat that overgrooms, a cat that has underlying joint pain. We're dealing with cats that have arthritis. This is more common in our older cats, so I wouldn't expect Cassian to be overgrooming due to arthritic pain. But if you're seeing your cat groom, especially over top of the limbs, especially over top of a joint, maybe over top of his lower leg here, this is his tarsal area, right? Or maybe in the front in his carpus on his wrist. And if that's where most of the licking is, or maybe over top of a knee, if it's focused over top of a joint, then think arthritis. And typically when I was in practice, I'd see that often over the front legs, maybe over top of the wrist here, kitty cat. And you just see this local area where some of the hair is actually gone. And yeah, maybe it is stress, maybe it was anxiety, but I also really made a point of palpating that joint well to see if it was painful. Because if it was, big red flags. We got to help your cat who's also got arthritic pain. Interestingly though, it's much the same treatments that we just talked about for urinary tract disease. Short term, it could be long term. CBD, cannabidiol, great option for our cats. Our cats cannot safely tolerate NSAIDs, period, especially never ever long term. So cannabidiol, 3 milligrams per 10 pounds of body weight, you're starting twice a day. And then a good quality joint support supplement, such as some of the specific ingredients in ours, glucosamine, chondroitin, MSM, Dr. Jones's Ultimate Feline Health Formula. And any of our animals, especially our older cats that have some arthritic pain, I also suggest a good quality essential fatty acid supplement. Doesn't need to be ours, could be fish oil. I like ours being krill. But regardless, you add in a good joint support supplement, glucosamine, chondroitin, MSM. Add in a good quality essential fatty acid supplement. A lot of the times, those two things do a great job of managing your cat's arthritis. And if the overgrooming was due to arthritic pain, that'll probably solve your problem. So if you happen to have a cat that overgrooms, fear not. Go through those sort of steps, rule out all the different things, that I just talked about, right? So you're sequentially thinking about what could my cat have? It could be A, B, C, or D, or E. And you think about the history, you do a reasonable examination of your cat. You get yourself one of these little flea combs, royal external parasites. Follow some of these tips and tricks. You are probably going to be able to stop your cat from overgrooming at home. I'm inviting you to our brand new free upcoming webinar, Top Natural Anti-Inflammatories, Painkillers, how you can help your dog or cat with arthritis. Natural anti-inflammatories and painkillers to help heal your dog's arthritis naturally at home. We're going to go into some of the more common causes of pain and inflammation in our dogs, and in particular though, focusing on the whole array of different holistic remedies that are proven to help. Conventional veterinary medications for pain and inflammation, what works, what doesn't, things you need to avoid, what you need to watch for. Acupressure, touch therapies that work, rapidly decreasing pain. signs of a dog with arthritis, new and emerging treatments that can really help your dogs. The webinar is free. It's happening Tuesday, December 2nd at 5 p.m. Pacific. Click the link in the box below to sign up. Thanks so much for watching this edition of Veterinary Secrets of why your cat is over-grooming and what you can do at home to help your cat now. Click up there to subscribe, hit the bell to sign up for notifications. Then when you click that link directly in the box below, I can send you a copy of my free book.